Do you ever wonder what will happen to your mind, your spirit, and your soul when you die? Do you fly up into an eternal heaven or fall into an eternal hell? Do you reincarnate in this world as other people, or even animals, plants, or rocks? Do you keep living the life you led over and over again? Or do you just simply disappear into nothingness? Clinically, we understand death to mean the state that takes hold after our hearts stop beating. It goes through 2 stages. The first, clinical death, lasts for 4 to 6 minutes from the moment a person stops breathing and the heart stops pumping blood. During this stage, organs remain alive and there may be enough oxygen in the brain that no permanent damage occurs. The second stage of dying, biological death, is the process by which the body's organs shut down and cells begin to degenerate. Your cells die, then bacteria, animals, and even the body itself digest your organs and tissues. Once you die, a medical professional must verify the death and sign a certificate to confirm it. If this is an expected death, then there is no need to call police and paramedics. After the doctor's certificate is issued, a funeral company takes the dead person into their care and collects the information needed to register the death. They can also help with newspaper notices or flowers. Then you are buried in peace. But what about your soul? Does it shut down with your brain? Medical experts have long debated what happens with the consciousness when a person dies, with anecdotal evidence of bright lights or sensations of a near-death experience, and films such as Flatliners exploring the unknown. According to a Reddit poll to a question, "What's it like to die?" people who have survived clinical death have reported a range of feelings, such as a sleep like nothingness, a peaceful floating sensation in the sky, being in a tranquil setting like a garden, a bright light or a tunnel heading toward a bright light, seeing and speaking with loved ones who have passed away, as well as out-of-body experiences where they could see what was happening in the room. Although there is no clear evidence to explain these feelings, several models have been proposed. One psychological theory, the expectancy model, has suggested that although these experiences could appear very real, they had actually been constructed in the mind, either consciously or subconsciously, in response to the stress of an encounter with death, or perceived encounter with death, and did not correspond to a real event. In a way, they are similar to wish fulfillment. Because someone thought they were about to die, they experienced certain things by following with what they expected or wanted to occur. Imagining a heavenly place was in effect a way for them to soothe themselves through the process of knowing that they were close to death. Subjects use their own personal and cultural expectations to imagine a scenario that would protect them against an imminent threat to their lives. Neuroscientists Olaf Blanke and Sebastian Dieguez have proposed 2 types of near-death experience models. Type 1, near-death experience, are due to bilateral frontal and occipital lobe damage to the brain, predominantly the right hemispheric brain, affecting the right temporal parietal junction and characterized by the visual features such as out-of-body experiences, altered sense of time, sensations of flying, and lightness vection. Type 2 near-death experience are also due to bilateral frontal and occipital lobe damage to the brain, predominantly the left hemispheric brain, affecting the left temporal parietal junction and characterized by emotional experiences such as the feeling of a presence, meeting and communication with spirits, seeing glowing bodies, as well as voices, sounds, and music without vection. However, Blanke and Dieguez admit that their model remains speculative due to a lack of data. Another physiological explanation is that a ketamine-like endogenous neuroprotective agent, hypothesized but not yet found to exist, may be released in conditions of stress, acting on N-methyl D-aspartate receptors. Ketamine can produce feelings of being out of the body, sensations of traveling through a dark tunnel into the light, believing that one has died, or communing with God. However, ketamine experiences usually involve bizarre imagery, are frightening, and are recognized as illusions, whereas people that have near-death experience usually find their experiences blissful and more real than real. Truthfully, We have no way to know what will happen for sure after we die. You will probably never find out until your time is up. But one thing you can certainly feel right now is that your heart is pounding, you are breathing, and you are living. Let's treasure your life and enjoy today.